Dominated.
They were gonna, yeah.
Oh. Oh, I never heard that comment.
What year were you born in?
1917 in Faribault County.
So you've lived in southern Minnesota for...
Most of my life. Well, all my life.
And how many brothers and sisters?
Well, there were 5 of us. 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Marietta, and Vernon, and Beatrice, and Raymond, and me. I'm the youngest. My mother was Catholic, and Dad was more or less Methodist, I guess, but he didn't go to church much. He was going to join the church before he died, but he didn't get that done.
What did your parents do as an occupation?
More or less farmed.
Farm. What kind of farming?
Well, same as it is now, grain farming, I suppose you would say, and some livestock. The boys, and Dad, of course, Dad helped pick corn, did the husk the corn. And, well, my mother run to cultivate when the kids was little. And that was a 1-row cultivator, and then it got to be 2-row cultivators with the horses. And then pretty soon after they got bigger machinery, by then they cultivated with the tractors. And that got to be up, I think, probably 12 rows. And now they got sprays and stuff, so they don't do the cultivating like they used to. Well, that's a sad part of it, that it put so many people out of work. But they've got this big machinery, and they buy and farm more land, so it puts a lot of people out. Your small farmers. And then your big cattle and pigs too do the same. Every farmer had a few cows and milked, and a few pigs. And now that's all gone. I don't know what you would call it, but it's, if you'd call it wholesale, or it's grown into, they have such big cattle barns and pig barns and stuff. And the same way with the land. To see the big barns, nothing in them, and some of them are rotting away, and that just makes you feel badly to see that.
What did you learn from your parents?
Oh, goodness. Keep busy, for one thing. Ole and I used to there's one picture of us there that, of course, they didn't have the sprays and stuff they have now, and there was one patch or field that had a lot of thistles, and so Ole and I took a hoe and chopped off the thistles. And then they took the picture. We looked kind of tough on that when we come in, but otherwise we helped. I always had to. Well, I was older then. Went and herded the cows along the road, so that keeps the roads down, and it was pasture for them too. I didn't like that job.
Do you remember how you met Grandpa?
I guess. At dances, more or less. I guess he saw me at some school thing over at Minnesota Lake, and that's when he thought he wanted to chase me, I guess. And then after that, he made sure he met me, and then we started going together.
How old was he at the time?
I was 16. He probably was 18.
Was it?
18 years. Yeah, I'd say 18.
Do you remember the first dance that you met him at?
Not really, no. Because we went to dances, or I did every week when I was in school, high school there. And I just don't know when he started coming.
Did he start coming?
To the dance.
Hoping to meet you, though?
Because he didn't like to dance, but he came anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, and after that, then he was up at all of them, and then we started going to usually I was in high school, and he'd take me home from the dance, and then the next after it got, then he took me to the dance too, or any place else we wanted to go.
Where else did you go? If you
Oh,
weren't out at the dances.
other than the dances, we went to oh, can't say the name of it. Amusement parks, more or less. There was one at Okoboji, and the other one was, I want to say Fairmont, but I can't say the name of it. It doesn't come to me right now.
Just kind of more or less just county fairs that came to town?
Well, not county fairs. They were parks that had a few wheels, I mean, you know, and boating, and there was a dance hall there, skating rinks. Art liked to skate, but I never could skate good. And that was just amusement where they had a lot of your Valley Fair type, but then it wasn't as big as Valley Fair. But, and that's about all there were. Or take picnics, you know, but and go there.
Okay. So how long did you and Grandpa date before?
Oh, I was about a sophomore, 3-4 years.
And then, do you remember how he proposed to you?
No, I you know, said, let's get married, I suppose, or he wanted to get married.
Mm-hmm.
February 24th in 1936. And it was just the day before Lent.
Oh.
At that time, well, the winter was terrible. There was snow. We had to go with horses and sleighs. You couldn't. And then just the day before our wedding, it cleared up and the roads got opened up. The roads was blocked up. Most of the winter from January it was, and we had to go with the horses, even for groceries or anything. And then it got to the point where they got the main roads open, and then they would probably leave a car. Well, I know Art, they left his car down by the pig school, and then if anybody else wanted to go to town, if they could get to the car, well, they could use our car or Art's car and go in and for groceries and things for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then the roads got opened up pretty good just the day before or so of our wedding, and there hadn't been a dance in a long time, and usually there was a dance every week that we went to. And so the hall was full, and then it was just before Lent, and you aren't supposed to dance Catholics in Lent. And they wanted us to go later than 12 o'clock. Oh, it had been so long since they'd been to a dance that they wanted to dance longer, but we had to quit at 12 o'clock because that was the end of the day. And so we had a big crowd at our dance. It had a lot of fun. I had 4 girls first, and then Paul was born. And then, let's see, Paul, and then Ray, and then Steve, and then Beth, and Raleigh, Julie, and Lynn. Well, they were all born at home until Ray. And then Ray, the doctor wanted me to go into the hospital. My Ann was born over here at Grandma and Grandpa's, and the doctor didn't get there. So Art was pretty surprised when he come back and there was a little baby there. And then, I don't know who went and, see the phone, we didn't have the phones then. And somebody went in and got Dr. Mark, and then he come by. She had been born, but everything was all right. And we enjoyed farming like that. I had a lot of chicken chores to do.
Oh yeah? What were those?
Well, after I was married and Art and I were farming, I had of feeding chickens and picking up eggs and washing eggs and putting them in the case ready to be sold. Well, we had cattle, milk cows. We had pigs until Art got so that he was allergic to pigs.
Grandpa was allergic to pigs?
Afterward, he got so that he was allergic to quite a few things. And dust too. He had always, when they thrashed, the thrashing machine, he would be in the dust because he was on the grade end part where there was a lot of dust. So his lungs got, you don't need to leave this in, but he smoked.
Mm-hmm.
His lungs smoked cigarettes, and his lungs got pretty bad.
How do you think people remember Arthur now, when they look back?
They liked him. He had a big funeral. They said one gal said that's the most people she'd seen in our church was at his funeral. But then he went down after that, after we come into town here, he went down to Louis and we had a lawnmower, and Art knew how to work on those, and Louis fixed a different kind up here.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to Art, well, come on down and help me fix those lawnmowers. He didn't know how to fix the Dixon it was. And so Art went down, and that was the happiest thing he could have done. He'd fix lawnmowers day and night if he could. Lawnmowers or chainsaws and small engines too. He liked people. He was proud of his family. I think if you got a good commitment to what you want to do and do it well, that's about all you can say, isn't it? And do it right. That makes it's somebody's home, that it's wiped out. That they pile them up in the cities. I sure don't like that. And now Steve says Ventura, they've saved a little money for the city to fix the streets. You're not taping me now, are you?
I'm just setting this up.